Hey, what is going on? Isaac Mashman here, and welcome to Dreamers Summit 2021. I am so excited to be talking to you and sharing my message and being able to pour out my experiences and knowledge to help you get the results in life that you truly desire, want, and are dreaming about, right? Now, when Samuel Guyon asked me to do this event, I was so honored, honestly, because I am over here in the United States, and I am able to help you guys and be able to share what I know all the way across the world in Ghana. And that is such an honor, and I look forward to it. And I look forward to being able to speak to you in person in the coming years whenever the Dreamer Summit grows and we go and take it to thousands and thousands and thousands of attendees and participants. So, today I'm going to be talking about how you can master your vision and also get the most out of university while you're attending and after you've already graduated and received your degrees and certifications and everything. But before I jump into that, I want to share a little bit about my story, and I want to be able to connect with you. And number one, I run my public relations firm, Mashman Ventures. I launched that in 2020. Fast forward to today, I have a team of 12 independent contractors, and we are a public relations firm that works with people to build out their personal brands. Now, I'm not here to talk and give you a sales pitch or talk about all the things that I got going on in business, but I do want to impress upon you that anything is possible. I don't come from money. I don't come from a background with people that were wealthy or entrepreneurial. And notice I say that we're entrepreneurial because there's really a specific mentality. There's this mindset. There's this way of thinking that is more important than anything else when building a business or when pursuing success of any particular kind. And so I grew up in a single parent household. My mom, she was a brilliant woman. She had a degree in education, but she always worked at fast food restaurants, and she worked at places and businesses that never really paid her a lot of money. And I saw her struggle, and I saw her do the same thing over and over and over again. And that is a very bad place to be a part of. It's a bad place to be stuck in. And then she later remarried, and I was raised with the entire mentality of go to school, get good grades, and go to university. Now, I'm not telling you to drop out. Continue going to school if you're going to school. But just know that, going to university isn't the only way to become successful. But I do think that it is extremely beneficial if you actually take and apply the very things that you learn. And so going into my senior year of high school, which in America is, between the ages of 17 and 18, I decided to not go and pursue a degree. I didn't drop out of high school, but I decided to do a complete 180 degree and jump into the world of business and entrepreneurship. Now, since 2018, when I graduated, I have been involved with nearly half a dozen different business ventures, from managing an artist, right, a musician, a rapper. I managed him for 6 months. I wanted to start a record label, decided that wasn't for me. I did drop shipping and e-commerce online, decided that wasn't for me. I did a clothing line and apparel business. I decided that wasn't for me. And then I even did media-related services and decided it wasn't for me. Now, any of the business models that I mentioned, they're not bad business models, but I was experiencing different things to understand what I wanted to do and what made sense, what I enjoyed, what I could see myself doing long-term that was also scalable. Now, as I was building out these businesses, I was also building out my personal brands online. Now, your personal brand is who you are. And that is something I really want to express today in this message and in this keynote, because if you are able to position yourself and have people in your local community and across the world know who you are, then that opens up the door for countless opportunities right there. And that is the solution to a lot of your different issues. And so from there, I was experimenting with my personal brands, and I decided that I wanted to launch a PR firm that specialized in personal branding, because at the end of the day, when you're asked by enough people to help them with something, you realize that there's a talent there, that there's something that you can enjoy. Fast forward to today, have the PR firm, have the podcast, and I've had Chase the Vision with Isaac Mashman since 2019, and podcasting is another great tool to connect with people and also grow your personal brand. So back on topic and talking about your vision. When it comes to starting something, when it comes to building or beginning a business, you have to have an understanding of why you're doing it. Now, I'm not talking about what your why in the sense of what makes you get up in the morning. You get up in the morning regardless, and I'm not a huge believer in anybody who says, what is your why? But I'm talking more so, what do you see yourself enjoying for the long term, and what is the real reason for you starting a business or a nonprofit or mainly pursuing a cause that you believe in? Why are you doing it? Is it because you want financial freedom? Is it because you want to make a lot of money and be wealthy? Is it because you want to travel? Is it because you want to live, in the United States, or you want to live and travel to Australia or New Zealand? Or is it very simply because you want to give back to your community and build up your local area? There are so many different benefits to building a business or building a brand or pursuing a nonprofit, right? Going after causes you care about. But you always start with what is the main motive behind it, and be honest with yourself. There's nothing wrong with wanting to become wealthy. There's nothing wrong with wanting to build a multinational brand. Some of the greatest artists of today are out of the Africa continent, and that should serve as inspirational and motivational to you by showing that in 2021, anything is possible. We live in a time of globalization. We live in a time where you can literally send out a tweet, you can send out a message, and you can connect with the CEO all the way across the world. Like I said and started out with this keynote, I am able to pour into you and provide value all the way in Arkansas, right? In a small city called Conway, Arkansas, out of the United States. I never expected to be doing a speech in Ghana in 2021, but here I am, and that is a blessing. And so when it comes to starting out your business, establish why you're doing it. And then after, make the decision. The decision behind it is more important than I think anything else I could talk about today. I had a lot of mentors when I first got involved with this who were telling me, Isaac, what is your, make the decision rather, excuse me. They were like, make the decision to go all in. Make the decision to go all in with this business or this passion. And I was like, obviously, I'm going to make the decision to do something. But as I look back, I realized that the people who didn't make the decision and who didn't commit to it are the ones who haven't changed their life. Your life can change as quickly as you want it to change. Now, I'm not here to motivate you. I talked about this before. I'm not a motivational speaker. I'm somebody who is going to tell you how it is and be brutally honest with you. And unless you take massive action to pursue something, your life will not change and your circumstances will never change, even for the better or for the worse, right? They will just stay the same. And staying the same and staying complacent is a horrible situation. The mindset and the mentality of complacency is an attitude of stagnance. And stagnant water is what breeds all of those different issues, right? If water is flowing, right? You think about a river is consistently flowing. That is where you fish from. That is where you eat from. That is where you swim, right? Later on today, I'm going to be going and swimming in a lake that flows. You want to be in a constant state of motion because the constant state of motion is what gets you results. It is what feeds you. It is what helps you get stronger if you're swimming in the river. Now, swimming in water that is stagnant, that just means that you're not going to be in a healthy situation. And so stagnance is what you always need to avoid. And so you establish your vision, you establish why you're doing this, and you be honest with yourself, and then you make the decision to go all in with pursuing that very thing. And pursuing that very thing is going to require effort. It is going to require non-stop and a kind of a psychotic and an aggressive mentality, right? You have to go all in with it. And what that means is you might not be able to go out and play as much sport with other kids or other people. You might not be hanging out with the same people who are doing the same exact thing. You're leveling up. And sometimes you are going to outgrow the people who began with you. And that is okay. It is okay to go and, go and move on to bigger and better things. That isn't the entire point of living life and going after your vision, going after your dreams. My podcast is called Chase the Vision with Isaac Mashman for a very reason, because I want you to actively chase after something. And chasing means that you're in motion, just like that river. And so you make the decision, and then from there, as you grow and as you scale, get creative and think outside of the box, and always focus more on the solutions rather than the problems themselves. This is something that I've noticed a lot of people do. A lot of people focus too much on the problem. They focus on why they can't do something rather than why they can do something. How can I solve this problem that I'm being faced with? And how you can get into that mentality is through basically changing your subconscious way of thinking. You have a subconscious mind and you have a conscious mind. Now I want to do a brief exercise with you. You have blinked probably a couple hundred times watching this video. Since you've been at the Dreamer Summit, you've probably taken a breath 1,000, 2,000 times, and you haven't thought about breathing once. You want to know why that is? That is because your subconscious mind is controlling your body. Now, the subconscious mind is what dictates 95% of a lot of decisions, right? There are statistics that say that your subconscious mind and emotions are what dictate 95% of sales that you might make, purchase decisions that you make. Now, your conscious mind is the mind that you consciously think with. You're making decisions to do something. You made the conscious decision to show up to the Dreamer Summit this year. It's not something that happened by accident. You had to go and drive. You maybe even had to take a plane, or you maybe had to travel by boat. Whatever you needed to do, you came in, you made the decision to come to the Dreamer Summit, and now you need to make the decision to consciously go all out with building your vision and going and building up your brand, or building out your personal brand, or building out your company, or building out your cause and nonprofit, and that will help you a lot. And so as you take and do more personal development, I believe that at the center of all achievement is personal growth. That is an original quote, and I believe that by that. At the center of all achievement is personal growth. And so the more personal development you do, the more you listen to podcasts, the more you study mentors, the more you show up to events like this, and the more you read books. There are so many books that are available that cost very, very little money, or you could even find a lot of these books for free even, or go to a local library or someone who has that material that you can study. Textbooks are a great way to learn. Your conscious mind and the things that you're learning consciously will be absorbed by your subconscious mind, and your mentality will start to change. You're going to start seeing things out of an attitude of optimism rather than pessimism. And this is something a lot of people in my family, they automatically viewed things that were happening and occurring to them with an attitude of pessimism, of like, man, this will never work. Of course it won't work if you never take the action to make it work. I had people in my life tell me that, Isaac, there's no science to getting rich. Well, yes, there is. But the thing is, you just haven't discovered it yet. There is a science. There is a methodology. And you have to really start making that mental shift, because you are at a great time and a great place right now. In 2021, you could not be more blessed to have access to the things you have access to. Networking with people, sending out tweets, getting on Twitter, getting on Instagram, building your personal brand, talking to people, and also talking to people locally that also have that same shared entrepreneurial vision. Entrepreneurship is the number one thing that will solve a lot of problems. I believe that in the world as a whole, if more people had a solution-based mentality and were entrepreneurs, the world would be a better place, because we would all be moving forward and making progress together. And so look to the person to your left. Look to the person to your right. Those people are the people you need to be surrounding yourself with, because they are looking to grow. They are looking to be in better situations. They are looking to scale together. Work and collaborate with these people. At the end of this event, what I would highly recommend you do, I don't know what the itinerary is set with or nothing like that, but you need to go and network and shake hands with people you've never shook hands with before, and you need to communicate with them and be like, hey, what do you have going on? Can we work together? Can we collaborate on a project? Do you know this person? University allows you to connect with people who have shared interest in degrees, especially in a school that is focused primarily on entrepreneurship. Network with your professors, network with the people around you, because networking will allow your entire community of connections to expand. You don't know who that person might know that could completely change your life, that could invest in your business, that could invest in your startup, who could push, your progress forward, because maybe they're connected with local officials that are able to get you the permits that you need, that are able to push you forward to the public, right? I'm in the industry of public relations, which basically means that I am here to take one person, right, who is maybe out of reach, or maybe a company brand that is normally out of touch with the community, and I'm able to bring them closer to the community, which establishes trust, right? You don't know what community leader could be that person and be that, one individual to bridge that gap between you and the community and you and that startup. And so guys, if you want to master your vision, and if you really want to, make the most out of your current life and current circumstances of being in university, you need to make the decision to. I can think of so many different times where I was lost, where I didn't know what I was doing. And this is another thing. I want to get personal with you. And the number one aspect of that, whenever I was lost and whenever I was in those situations that helped me get out of it, were the people around me. I didn't give up. And I made sure to surround myself with the right people, the people who believed in me when I didn't believe in myself. And that's a crazy place to be a part of. That's a crazy place to be in. That's a mental space that might not be the healthiest. And from there, by surrounding and building up this environment and building up this network, and I'm slowing down a little bit. I know I talk fast because of how emotional this kind of makes me. It's like, that's when you know you're with the right people. And being around other entrepreneurs is a blessing. It is an absolute blessing. And so, if I could sum everything that I've talked to you about today, about mastering your vision and about making the most out of university, it goes back to understanding what it is you want. Making the decision to go all in with getting that very thing and making it happen. And then it's also about making the most of your current circumstances. I know that you might want to be in a different place right now. Maybe you want to travel and be on a flight. I know that over the past couple of years, or over the past year rather, with the pandemic and all this other stuff, I couldn't travel nearly as much as I would have liked to travel. But guess what? I didn't let that hold me back. I didn't let my current circumstances hold me back from pursuing my future circumstances. But just don't become so obsessed with the future you don't live in the present. But you do need to understand where you're going. You need to make the decision that, hey, I will be traveling. Hey, I will be running a multi-million-dollar company, or I'll be working and shaking hands with top executives out of France and out of Europe and the United Kingdom and Canada and the United States. Look for these experiences and look for things that are going to push you outside of your comfort zone, because that is how you grow. The most growth that you can ever experience is when it's outside of your comfort zone. I went through times where I would purposely sleep on the floor, and I have a comfortable bed, and I said, I'm not sleeping in the bed, I'm sleeping on the floor to be uncomfortable. Taking flights where I couldn't be on, I didn't have a place to stay, right? I was going to sleep wherever I could sleep because it made me uncomfortable, and then from there, it pushed me to become successful. And I'm still growing, I'm still scaling, I'm still making, active decisions on a daily basis that progress and push me forward. And you need to be making the same. Make those cautious decisions to change your life. And then don't give up. There will be times where you go slow. There will be times where you're being hit with a lot of no's, and your vision seems to get farther and farther and farther away from where you are at presently. And that just means that you need to continue progressing, because during those circumstances and during those times of no's and the depression, those are the times that people give up. And the times that people give up, that means that there's going to be less competition for you, and there's more room for you to grow and succeed and help your family, help your friends, help the people who are around you. This life is meant to be enjoyed, but just because this life is meant to be enjoyed does not mean that there will not be challenges along the way. Embrace the challenges, embrace the difficult times, and make sure your attitude is an attitude of optimism and an attitude of, this is a solution to my problems. You have to understand the return on investment, the ROI, right? When we're talking about sales, what is the ROI of buying this thing? What is the ROI of this service that you're paying for? The return on investment for making the decision to go all in and pursuing it and chasing after your vision is whatever you want it to be. Travel, freedom, wealth, making sure your family is set up for life, building generational wealth, going and pursuing politics and changing your local government, changing your local situation. There are millions of options, and no option is better than the other, because at the end of the day, we're all unique, and that uniqueness and that difference of goals and that difference of mindset is what is going to really progress us forward all the more. And so guys, it's been an honor talking to you. It's been an honor sharing my experiences and sharing my knowledge. And I know that y'all can change your situation, or you could change whatever situation you might be in, and you can get to that place in life that you really want to be in with a snap of your fingers. Make the decision, go all in, and don't be afraid to get uncomfortable. It's been an honor speaking at the Dreamer Summit, and I look forward to meeting you guys in person sometime in the very near future. Thank you.